It's amazing to see so many familiar faces, new faces, friends, family, clients, partners. Thank you so much. It means the world. And I know it's Easter nearly, isn't it? Tomorrow's the last sort of work day, and then it's crunchy Easter all weekend. Brilliant. And I'm going to talk for about 10 or 15 minutes. And I think some colleagues in the audience and clients have been given full permission to throw things at me if I talk for longer, as it eats into what is, I think, one of the best motivational speakers, Steve Head, who you're going to meet in 15 minutes if I shut up then. I wanted to share the story as to why we're here in Glasgow, and certainly why I bought this business back in July 2018. Pamela's shaking her head, and it is her fault. She's got to be the best lawyer I have ever met, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. She asked me to come to a meeting in her office at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. That's early for me on a Monday morning. I like a weekend. And I sat there, and the opportunity was a business that had some fantastic customers and some fantastic people, but it needed to restructure, and it needed to rethink what it was, who it was, and what it did. And my passion, and I think my quest in life, since I left home, was to manage my frustration with organisations that don't get customer service brilliant. And I've got to say, I think in the UK, it's an exception when it happens amazingly. And as a general rule, we're pretty accepting, tolerant lot around average and good customer service. And I spend my life looking for better and looking for the magic nuggets in the organisations that go that little step ahead to make it even more of a wow. And I get obsessed about what makes those organisations great. And I've been blessed and lucky for the last 20 years to work with some of the world's best businesses. Jo talked about some brands there, and she's completely right about what makes them different and special. If you really go back to it, in the heart of it, it's the people inside them. The innovations, the technological advancements, yes, but it's the people that make businesses brilliant and make them special. And that's what I've seen here at this Business Impact. And I knew there was a business with a heart, and I knew it had brilliant customers, 60 customers, operating a bureau. I thought, what's a bureau? I thought it was like a recruitment agency. Well, it's where we have multiple clients served by the same team of multi-skilled people. I thought that sounds fantastic in terms of economies. And then we have a dedicated business that serves some key accounts with a dedicated team of people where you would think we were them and you would think they were us. And we've got some of those customers here tonight. And thank you so much, customers, for joining us tonight and for supporting us and believing in us. It means the world. So, a few slides. Our mission is absolutely to help businesses and people achieve more. Who's seen Simon Sinek, Why? Google it if you haven't. It changed my life. Organisations defining who they are and why they are what they are. What are they on this planet to do? We're not on this planet to listen to people on the telephone and to talk to them. That was a call yes, it was described to me as a call centre. A call centre for me is people that talk. I think our job's people to listen. People to listen to our customers, the verbal, the non-verbal, and actually hear what that customer wants and needs. And for me, if we do one thing in life and we're recognised for that, it helps businesses be better at what they do and people achieve more. That's our mission. And our vision is to improve customer experience across the globe, bit by bit. We can eat elephant one bit at a time. And I think it's about taking it one step at a time. And it's not about radically putting robots into organisations. I spent a few days in London a couple of weeks ago at what was described to be the fastest thinking and most advanced methodologies in terms of call centres and customer experience departments going digital. And you know the big thing that came out of that conference? I am sweating, there's no windows open in here. So forgive me, I'm going to take my jacket off. We don't need a theme tune there. Yeah. The big thing that came out was don't robotise your business. Don't put these robots into it and take away the human heart and take away what makes businesses magical, which is people. Do that for 10 or 20% and do it where it matters. And when we bought the business in July, what we spent a lot of time doing was pressing pause, something you're going to hear about later, and asking our customers what we did well and what we could do better. And that meant having honest conversations. I call it looking in the mirror and seeing what's there. Not what you think's there, but actually looking at your business and saying, how can we be brilliant for our customers? And that meant re-engineering things. That meant stop doing certain things, start doing certain things, or tweak the things we were doing that was working to make them even better. And that's the journey we've been on. And it's not been a big, massive revolution. It's a bit of an evolution. Day by day we learn more, and we do more, and we get better. But my passion is customer experience, and ask the hard questions and being better every single day. And that's what we're striving to do at go-centric. We've got amazing people in the room. Give me a raise of hands if you think, in today's world, certainly in today's age, customer satisfaction is imperative. Give me a raise of hands. Somebody said to me, David, it's worthless. I said, it's not. Satisfaction's really important, isn't it? He says, no. Because you can be satisfied if you get to your hotel and there's a V in the toilet roll and the sheets are clean. And who's in a hotel tonight? Is your bed clean? Towel's yours, certainly used for the first time, having been washed before, yeah? Did you get your name on the telly? Did they expect you to get there? The check-in card was waiting for you, wasn't it? Welcome, Mr. Harper. And I'm satisfied, yeah? Am I a raving fan? Am I phoning Nick, my husband, saying we have to be here next week? The place is amazing. No, it's clean. It was 69 quid. It was available when I got there, and the sheets were new. That for me is satisfaction. And everybody's doing that. What we need and what we want and what I'm passionate about is loyalty, to create raving fans in our businesses that come back time after time after time. Even when you get it wrong, they forgive you because they're ambassadors of your brand. A few wee case studies. Actually, Jenny, thanks. You never told me where's Jenny? You never told me you were actually going to use it. I gave Jenny told her a story when I got to the hotel on Monday night. I think it was. We travelled all over. And I got there, and the lassie in reception, Grand Central Hotel, right, in the Central Station, massive smile on her face, banana the right way up. Mr. Harper, welcome back. She says, I've got your favourite room. I didn't even know I had a favourite room there, but it was a nice room, by the way. I get to the fifth floor, we walk along, Nick and I, 5'2", whatever it was, and I go in, and it was nice, but look what she'd put on the desk, right? Some tune-ups, tarts, I like my chocolate, iron brew, and a card from her just to say, so happy you choose us every time you come to Glasgow. It's £69, honestly. I am a Glasgow Central, Grand Central Hotel, go there, even if it's not a stay, just have a drink, they're lovely people. I'm a raving fan, and it cost them a tune-ups tea cake. My goodness. I get on an aeroplane, not that one, and I go to New York. So many years ago, we were looking at buying a business called Service Excellence. This is an organisation that was bought by what was now just recently Carillion, but it was Giga Partnership. These were an organisation set up to put heating into underprivileged people's homes across the UK. Warmfront was the scheme, we may have heard of it. So my granny got free central heating, cavity wall insulation, which I'm sure she sued somebody about later in life because it condensed her windows, and free double glazing. That was the scheme. And Giga Partnership installed those facilities into houses, and they depended on a network of engineers that shared their value and their passion for customer service. That was heating engineers, joiners, plumbers, etc. So they reckoned to manage that supply chain quality, we'll buy a business that sends executives to New York to learn about the world's best customer service businesses. And I was sent on a plane to New York because we were looking at buying that business. So my boss at the time, the chief executive of the company, says, go and see what that course is like in New York for 2 weeks. I'm a young boy, my first pinstripe suit, and I get on this plane, and I get to New York, and the first company we meet is JetBlue Airlines. Who's heard of JetBlue? Very similar to Southwest. Do you know, they told me a story, the chief executive, there was 10 of us in the room, said, David, do you know how we recruit pilots? No idea. He says, well, we recruit 600 a year. He said, and 60% of the interview score for a pilot, do you know who grants it? No. The receptionist. Because we assume when you come for an interview to be a pilot at JetBlue, you can fly the thing. You've got your ticket. You're going to do it safely. You've had hours. You've had somebody sign you off. We've got Nigel in the room here, where are you? A pilot himself, understands this better than anybody. You can fly a plane if your ticket says you can because you've done the course and you've had the hours. He says, but if that pilot who comes for the interview doesn't engage with the receptionist and talks in an engaging fashion, in an interesting fashion, with passion, and a dignity that makes that person feel special on reception, they ain't going to fly our airplanes because we need to be able to deal with our customers. And most pilots who come for interviews, it's only now since Ford wrote an article about it, realise why they never got the job. They were the best pilots, they crashed and run never ever before, and we were saying no thanks because you couldn't engage in a 5-minute conversation with the person in reception who was judging you at 60% of the score. See, JetBlue, I would fly with them even if I had to travel 200 miles by bus at the other end because they never had an airport or where I wanted to go. They're that good. If they delay customers, they buy them Domino's, and their staff feed the customers Domino's. Brilliant, kids love it. Mum, Dad, can we go with JetBlue? Can we make sure it's delayed? Brilliant. Santander, been blessed for nearly 8 years to work with Santander. And it's when I met Joe, who you heard from earlier, and a lady in Santander, Anna Botain, the UK at the time, chief executive, We helped that bank transform its positioning from being a bank that built itself for its shareholders to be a bank that rebuilt itself for its customers. And I asked 300 executives, and I'm allowed to share this wee quick story, in a room, and I think Steve might have been there at the time doing his amazing stuff that he did with the bank too. And I asked every one of them who their competitors were, because I was a Santander customer, I was also a Lloyds customer, I think a Barclays customer, and I'd lost track of who owns who in banking. I mean, I really didn't know if HBOS was part of Lloyds or Lloyds had bought Santander. I'm a confused guy when it comes to banking. And I got the normal stock response from that audience of 300 leaders. Our competitors are HBOS, are Lloyds, and actually I said, look, as a customer, I'm comparing how you treat me as a bank to how my dentist treats me when I book an appointment, to what it was like to go to Disney as a park and how they exceeded my expectations, because I'm comparing service for service. And it's no longer good enough if you're a retailer just to be the best retailer. You've got to be the best service provider, because it's a service that creates the loyalty which brings customers back time after time after time. And for me, that is so key, that we build our businesses to be the best service providers, and the bank realise, actually, we've got to be better than Disney. We've got to be better than Ritz. The final wee quick story here was the Ritz-Carlton. In that wee tour of New York, we met the guy who ran Ritz, the chairman, and he talked about how he empowered his staff. And he said, I got it wrong, because at a conference, I talked to 3,000 leaders, managers in Barcelona. And I told them all that our repeat bookings were down, our net revenue per customer had dropped, our market share, we were losing it. So we said to our people, go and be empowered. Take the tools and make decisions. You don't need us to tell you what to do anymore. A year later, everything got worse. He said the repeat bookings were even worse. The rates online now, a really bad place to stay, the most expensive and the most arrogant. He says, we had lost the plot. He says, but I took responsibility. So I stood up on the stage for the second time, and I did the same 15 slides. And one guy in the audience said, sir, these are last year's slides. I brought a copy of them just for good order. I don't know if your secretary's messed it up. He went, no, I'm doing the same presentation because I felt that I failed you last time because I never got my message across. He says, my last slide actually is one I've added this year. It's about empowering your people and what I mean by it. And the final slide, he put it on, I got goosebumps. Let me explain what I mean. You are allowed, and you have my permission, as the Chief Executive Officer of Ritz-Carlton Brands, to empower your people to make a decision per guest per day for $2,000, and they don't need to ask the boss. $2,000 per guest per day. Go on to a Ritz and tell them you know that, and they really get scared, because they expect you to be asking them for a Learjet to the airport next. But the point was, that meant that the chambermaid, who realised it was somebody's 20th wedding anniversary, could go to the kitchen, take a $5 bottle of champagne, put it in the room, sign a card to say, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. She never had to fill in a form. She never had to ask her boss to ask his boss or her boss. It was done there and then. Do you know how many applicants Ritz-Carlton get for every job that they advertise? 10,000 on average. Ladies and gentlemen, treating ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. And that's the philosophy. And that man said to me, David, the secret of our success is I actually don't now care about my customer's experience. I don't care about what they say about us online. I don't care about whether they're coming back and spending more money or not. I really, really, really don't care. I thought, how arrogant. Maybe that's because they're so good now, he doesn't have to, but I still thought it was wrong. And I started judging him, didn't I? He said, but let me tell you why. Because I only care about my people. Because I know if I get that bit right, and we've seen the Richard Branson posters on LinkedIn and things, and he says the same. We're all saying the same now as leaders. If we look after our people look after our customers. It's no rocket science. I've been asked tonight by a couple of colleagues, clients past and current, what is it for you, David, that's going to make the difference with go-centric as people? Technology is 20%, people are 120%. Get that bit right, and it's no easy, by the way. Finding talent and keeping it and nurturing it and doing the right thing by it and having open conversations and being passionate and being leaders that are out on the floor and no closed offices and having the tough conversations with ourselves every day, kicking ourselves in the face by wanting to be better every single day. That's the model. Just keep doing that and having honest conversations with customers, helping their businesses get better too. That's the plan. So, 3 things for me with go-centric, and it's my total mission now to deliver this. Our people are our business, and your customers are their business. So we're going to make the right investment in them. And can I say, since we've come to Glasgow, I've been overwhelmed by the support the Scottish Government have shown us, the welcome they've given us, Scottish enterprise, the proactive intervention, the required, that want to help us. Do you need debt? Do you need growth money? Where does your talent come from? Can we connect you with universities? If you're in Scotland, you're not talking to Scottish enterprise, talk to them. If you're in England and you're not in Scotland, talk to Scottish Enterprise because they'll bring you here. It's an amazing place to do business. I've spent all of my business life in England. I love doing business in Scotland. There's an attitude here which is yes we can and yes we will. It's brilliant. So people are number one, technology is number two, but know where it makes a difference and use it and invest it wisely. Don't replace people with robots, only if it makes the customer's journey better. I don't want to go into a branch and do banking. If you go to Canada and you want to transfer $500, you've got to go to the branch and wait 2 hours on a busy lunchtime. Here we've got apps to do that. It's brilliant. That makes Santander great, doesn't it? Because they give us the technology we want, not the technology that we don't. And third, talk to our customers and give your customers what they want. Us giving you what you want and stretching thought. And on top of that, more importantly, for you, my takeaway, make sure you know what your customers want. What's the 2 bits of what you do that your customers will remember the most? Is it the start? Is it the end? Is it both? Is it the product being received? Is it the membership phoning the helpline? That's what's important. Give customers what they want and be ahead of the game and surprise them and wow them. And I finish with a thank you very, very much once again for tonight and your commitment. And my commitment to you is to do the right thing in this business and grow it with great people. And I don't think we'll have a problem doing that. It won't be easy, but it's my mission to do it. Let me introduce you to Steve Head, a guy who made me think differently about what I did in my life and how I did it. And when I heard him speak for the first time, I did 4 things in my life different and it made it better. It made me a better husband, it made me a better family guy with my family, it made me a better boss, it made me a better entrepreneur, and I've got that to thank this man for. So it's a treat for you, from us, to enjoy what you're just about to hear. Steve Head.